Breaking news alert.
And we need to start with that breaking news right now. An Amber Alert has just been issued for missing Hendersonville teenager Sebastian Rogers. News 2's Caitlin Quisenberry is in the Shackle Island Volunteer Fire Department area. Caitlin, crews are urgently trying to find him before this colder weather gets into our area. What's the latest on the search tonight?
Absolutely, Mark. And as the sun begins to set out here, crews are preparing those drones and night vision to continue that search for Sebastian Rogers. As of right now, the search is over 24 hours. They have been searching for Sebastian Rogers, and it is an all-hands-on-deck effort to assist in this search. This afternoon, there are over 150 people in the search party. Crews assisting are TBI, Hendersonville Police, Goodlettsville Police, Sumner County EMS, and Rutherford County Fire and Rescue, just to name a few of the many. Officials tell me Sebastian Rogers is an autistic 15-year-old with glasses, dirty blonde hair, and was last seen wearing a black sweatshirt and sweatpants around midnight Sunday night. One of the risks is that Rogers was on medications.
Definitely increases the volatility of the situation. The medicine was there, obviously to treat his autism. So how he responds to that once the medicine is out of his system is really not my expertise, but I do know that it's going to have a negative effect on him.
The Sumner County Sheriff's Office is urging all nearby residents to search their garages, barns, any open spaces that Sebastian could be hiding, as well as checking that home surveillance video too for any sighting of it. And then as well, you can visit our website, WKRN.com, for that tip line number to call in. And as always, we'll continue to bring you live updates from the scene as the afternoon progresses. Live in Sumner County, Caitlin Quisenberry, News 2.
Sebastian Rogers has been missing in Sumner County for 3 days now, and we have been following that story very closely. The TBI upgraded his case to an Amber Alert last night, meaning agents think he is in imminent danger. Agencies from all over the state have come out to assist.
This is Caitlin Quisenberry joins us live from the search headquarters at the Shackle Island Volunteer Fire Department. Caitlin, this is a massive search effort.
Absolutely. So far today, authorities have put out a call for more police mounted patrols as possible, and Hendersonville Police and Wilson County Sheriff's Office have responded to that call, bringing in extra horses and people for that. And also out in the field here today have been drones, helicopters, and all-terrain vehicles. Sebastian Rogers is 15 years old with autism. He was last seen at his home on Stafford Court around midnight Sunday wearing a black sweatshirt and sweatpants, possibly barefoot. Two of the many concerns officials are facing now is Sebastian has been off of his medication since going missing, and the temperatures are expected to continue to drop below freezing as the night goes on. I will say I've spoken to a couple residents out here who really just want to help in the search. Officials say if you do want to help, search your property and your home surveillance video for any sighting of Sebastian.
It's a News 2 breaking news alert.
And I want to start with that breaking news alert. No investigative leads going into now day 4 of the search for missing 15-year-old with autism. Thank you for joining me for News 2 at 3. I'm Mark Kelly. Sebastian Rogers was last seen February 26 at his home in Hendersonville. This search has been all hands on deck ever since. News 2 Tori Gessner joins us live from the Shackle Island Volunteer Fire Department. And Tori, you just received some new information from law enforcement 30 minutes ago.
Yeah, Mark, investigators are still treating this situation as if Sebastian Rogers just got up from his home and walked away. There have been no confirmed sightings of him on any surveillance video or doorbell cameras, and canines still have not picked up his scent. Investigators did find tracks leading away from his home, but they say that lead turned up short. Now, we were told that Sebastian is drawn to water, so that's where first responders have been focusing a lot of their efforts today. They went through maps showing just how much ground and air they've covered day to day. The first 2 days, searchers on foot walked more than 2,000 miles and still no sign of Sebastian. Now they're asking you, if you're in Sumner County or even counties like Davidson or Robertson, search your property every day and every night and look for any sign of disturbance.
We're operating under the assumption that Sebastian walked off. We have no evidence to disprove that. The family's been nothing but cooperative with law enforcement and our investigation. We are truly operating under the assumption that there's a child missing that needs our help. So if the public is out there and you have a house close by or not close by, right? Check your property twice a day. If you find something, call us. If you have trail cams out on properties that you hunt, check them. If there's an image that you think could be Sebastian, call us. Anything, any tip that you have, call us. We want to bring Sebastian home.
You can hear them pleading with you there. They say it is key, though, that if you are going to search your property, do so in pairs, because they say if they spot one single person alone, they have to draw resources and confirm that it is not Sebastian. It's unclear how long this search will go into tonight, but we'll keep you updated on air and online. Live in Hendersonville, Tori Gessner, News 2.
Well, Nicole, previously the community was asked to not interfere with the search efforts, but now the sheriff's office is saying that those who are willing to join the search can do so in pairs. You are asked to avoid coming to this command post, though, so that they can continue staying in touch with official law enforcement agencies. Now, earlier this morning, the EMA director suggested looking to bodies of water for footprints or clues. We saw Hendersonville's mounted patrol officers along a creek in the wooded area behind the command post. We also drove through Sebastian's neighborhood, which is very close to here, and saw the TBI agents walking into wooded areas behind those homes. This morning, I've also seen the TWRA with specialized ATVs, state troopers, Sumner and Wilson County sheriffs, as well as Hendersonville, Gallatin, White House Police, Sumner County EMS, just to name a few. Yesterday, the EMA director says all of the agencies walked a total of 2,000 miles and searched Sebastian's home at least 10 times. The TBI has told us Sebastian's parents are not in a position to speak or share more about him right now, but lead agencies say they will continue searching as long as it takes. Again, a reminder about Sebastian. He is 15 years old, 5'5", 120 pounds. If you know anything, you can contact the sheriff's office or call the TBI.
To make sure that we're getting on them just as quickly as possible.
But there hasn't been one video that you guys have had that you said that's...
There is not a confirmed sighting of Sebastian on camera.
Gotcha.
Was any of the canines able to pick up on his scent or something that can lead you to maybe a direction where he might have been?
We've done that. We've actually cast the dogs at intersections to see if they take us. And our dogs are scent specific, and we have scent articles from the home, and they have not. We have gotten some tracks away from the home, and we haven't had anything that leads us to Sebastian, obviously.
You mentioned that you covered about 2,000 miles.
Day 5 and the search press is on for 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers. From the FBI to the TBI, local agencies from Sumner County and beyond, the search is nonstop. Peyton Kennedy has been at the command post in Hendersonville all morning now. She's joining us live with the very latest on their efforts. Peyton.
And Nikela, unfortunately this morning we have not been told of any leads or pieces of evidence, but we have been keeping track of the activity here at the command post and beyond. So earlier this morning around 8:30 a.m. we were able to join members of the Greenbrier Fire Department as they searched a wooded area on foot. It's about 3 miles south of this command post. So like all of the agencies that are searching on foot, they turned on their tracking devices so they can maintain a map of what has and what hasn't been investigated. Then around 10 a.m. we were led to some activity outside Sebastian's home. The EMA, police, plus ATVs and a raft were all parked there, and a dog was sniffing around the property. No word as to what exactly they were looking for or why that specific equipment was there. But beyond that, there is clear support from surrounding county agencies as well and community members who are encouraged to search their property in pairs. Now, as well as that, if you could continue checking your surveillance and trail cameras, they appreciate it. And if you have any information, you can pass it along to the Sheriff's Department or to the TBI. Live in Hendersonville, Peyton Kennedy, News 2.
It's been nearly 6 days since 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers went missing from his home in Hendersonville. And this morning, the search continues. Our Jaxie Pigeon joins us live from the command center this morning with the latest on the search efforts. Jaxie.
Well, Blake, despite the thousands of miles that officials have searched, there still has been no sighting of Sebastian Rogers. But folks here in Sumner County are not giving up hope. It's been an extensive and all-hands-on-deck effort. Anything from helicopters to bloodhounds to dive teams and more. Sebastian is 5'5" and weighs 120 pounds with dirty blonde hair. He's most likely wearing a black sweatsuit and glasses. Now, there is an active Amber Alert for the teen with autism. Officials say it was issued due to the cold and rainy weather, as well as how long he's been missing, especially without his medications. Volunteers and community members are also pitching in, hoping that something positive comes out of this horrifying situation.
Being a mom of children with special needs and autism and the cognitive impairment and things, it's like I'm living my worst nightmare. I'm watching it unfold. I think no matter what happens in Sumner County with this, Sumner County needs a lot of prayer and comfort right now, because it's been a big week.
Now, first responders are still asking those who live in the Beach High School area to check their properties in pairs, look under any confined spaces like garages, decks, etc. Blake.
Alrighty, Jaxie, before you go, you've been on the ground there from the very beginning of this search, and we were talking about it earlier this morning, but you've really seen people come from all over the state to help in this search.
That's right. On day one, I mean, there were agencies coming together for sure. I'd say half a dozen, but now we're over a dozen. And like I said, I saw people as far as Collierville coming in, and that's over 3 hours away. So definitely everyone coming in to help find Sebastian Rogers and really hoping for that positive outcome and doing everything they can, hopefully, to find him in good standing.
Help out with these efforts.
Just need to make sure that they are able to sustain while they're out in conditions that aren't just walking down the road. They're out in the woods, they're out in the creeks. Some have been in caves. So you just want to make sure that they're ready to go out there for that.
And today they estimate they've fed between 250 to 300 volunteers out here searching. Remember, if you have any information about Sebastian's whereabouts, you're asked to call the Sumner County Sheriff's Office or the TBI. Reporting live in Sumner County, Nikki McGee, News 2.
The very latest developments, and Jaxie, we understand reward money is now on the table.
That's right, Blake. The Sumner County Sheriff's Office tells us that a group of local investors invested a minimum of $3,000 toward any information that would help investigators in finding Sebastian Rogers. I now want to bring in EMA Director of Sumner County, Ken Widener. Ken, as we near this week-long search effort, where are you focusing starting today?
Well, we keep expanding, so we've expanded west and we're expanding north. We just keep expanding the search area, and we're bringing different teams in. Yesterday we had a group from East Tennessee come in. They're mountainous experts and they do caves, and so we've had any cave that we've marked, we've had them in those caves. The City of Gallatin has done all the storm drains in the area with cameras, so we keep expanding and just throwing everything that we can at it to try to get him located.
And in terms of the search, you said you've been expanding. About how much ground have you covered?
We're close to 5 miles now. Now, the further south you go towards Hendersonville, we get into the city, and we would expect he would be located or seen if he were in the city. And we've gone into the city, sort of in the fringe, in the more not as urban areas of Henderson, but we've been all the way to the lake on the streams that travel through the lake. We've been to the lake.
And you have over 300 searchers here.
Well,
yesterday.
We had 330 on the ground, and then we'll run the numbers later today on how many come in today, and we run that as the day goes on.
And 43 years in law enforcement, you told me. What does this experience look like in terms of people coming together to help out in this one mission to find Sebastian Rogers?
Well, one thing about Tennessee and the Southeast is we're always going to have people that want to help, and we get calls from across the state for people that want to come in and help us. And the thing that we've got to do is be able to manage that. So we track everybody that's on the ground. The first 2 days we did 2,000 miles of people walking, and we haven't run those numbers for the entire duration of this operation, but. It's great, and to be able to call in specialized groups that do the things that we can't do is really good.
And what keeps you going as you're keeping going after this week just to find Sebastian Rogers? How do you keep going, you and your team?
Oh yeah, just the drive to find him. We'll go talk to the parents in a little while, and every morning we sit and talk to them. We want to do everything for them and for Sebastian to get him located.
Thank you so much, Ken. If you do have any information, you're asked to reach out to the Sumner County Sheriff's Office or the TBI. Also, check those cameras, like they said, Sunday to Monday, Sunday afternoon to Monday morning.
Shift in the case of Sebastian Rogers, the missing autistic 15-year-old. It's a case we have followed closely since he disappeared.
We care what happens next, just like you. And now, 1 week after Sebastian vanished from his Sumner County home, authorities are scaling back the search effort, and they are now calling it an investigation.
Nick Barra shares the latest details, and we also hear for the first time publicly today from the missing teen's mother and stepfather.
The original thinking was that Sebastian Rogers left home on his own, but the fact that he disappeared without a trace now has authorities looking into the very real possibility of foul play. Consider 7 days of intense searching from the ground and air. Hundreds of officers and citizens, bloodhounds, and nothing. No security video of the teen and no trace of Sebastian.
We're used to producing, and this is one of those cases that we haven't been able to produce yet.
No one is giving up. Sebastian could still be alive somewhere, alone, hurt, lost, or trapped. The search effort will continue, but
We're scaling it back a little bit.
what exactly does that mean? Well, sources close to the case confirm authorities are now considering foul play and that this missing teen case could become a criminal investigation. Sebastian's mother and stepfather broke their silence, talking about how he disappeared from their home overnight a week ago Sunday. The two spoke on a YouTube podcast called Missing Tennessee with Duchess.
And when I went to wake him up for school, he wasn't here.
Between the hours of, 12 and 6, he has basically vanished. Walked out of the house, the door was locked and gone.
He didn't take a phone. None of his shoes are missing.
Authorities have named no suspects and say that to date, the parents have fully cooperated with the investigation.
Detectives now will re-interview and vet everyone that had contact with Sebastian, looking for any inconsistencies. And they are asking the public to provide any Ring camera videos, not just from Sunday night when they believe he disappeared, but of anything suspicious of much earlier in the day. Nick Barris, News Channel 5.
Roger. Hey, good afternoon. I'm Eric Craddock from the Sumner County Sheriff's Office, and I'm the Chief Deputy here, joined by Ken Weiner, the Director of Sumner County EMA. Wanted to come to the public and give you guys an update on the search for Sebastian Rogers. Last Monday morning at about 6:30, Sebastian was reported missing from his home. Since then, we've conducted an extensive and exhaustive search around the home, looking for any evidence, any trace of Sebastian. At this time, the decision's been made to scale back on the ground search operations. Let me be clear that this does not diminish our commitment to finding Sebastian. This is simply us transitioning from the ground search to the investigative side. We are still committed to finding Sebastian and bringing him home safe. We have no leads, no details to indicate that Sebastian is not alive. We are going to follow up on every lead. We have a planned response if anyone has a sighting of Sebastian. Our patrol deputies will be out. Our investigators will be out. We are still coordinating with law enforcement across the state. We are still consulting with experts. This decision does not come lightly. We have consulted with, and I've deferred to the experts in search and rescue. Every time we've asked, they've said you've done everything you can do. At this time, Director Weiner?
Yeah. So we'll continue to have a command post at the fire station there. We won't man it 24/7, but we will have K9 units in the area. We'll have teams ready to go. The sheriff's office will have deputies on patrol, and if we get any report, we'll respond to that location. We'll send K9 to that location and search teams should we get any information. So we will continue, and any tips we get, we will reactivate to the level we need to respond with.
I'd like to take a moment and thank all the first responders from across the state of Tennessee that have come out and helped us in the search for Sebastian. They've come from as far as Knox County. We've called in the State National Guard to help. The Army National Guard was here to help. If there was a resource we thought we could utilize to help locate Sebastian, we've used it. And we will continue to do so based on the leads that come in. The Sheriff's Office continues to urge families to check your properties, to check your cameras. No detail is too small. If you have a detail that you think is important, please call 615-451-3838. Thank you.
The sheriff says the landfill search in the Sebastian Rogers case turned up nothing. Sebastian has been missing for 11 days now. The 15-year-old has autism, and investigators say he does not have his medication with him. News 2's Adam Mincer looks at what has law enforcement learned, and after searching the highs and lows all across state lines.
15-year-old Sebastian Rogers must be somewhere.
We're doing everything we can. Every lead that we get, we're following.
Now, after a week and a half, Sumner Sheriff Sonny Weatherford put out a statement saying, while we had hoped for a different outcome, our commitment to finding Sebastian remains unwavering. The sheriff's office began the search on Monday, February 26.
I couldn't recall off the top of my head when the last search like this was.
Starting with a 2, then 5-mile radius search in the Shackle Island area. Law enforcement then expanded the radius exponentially. According to Sumner County officials, crews searched more than 2,000 miles on foot, went through Sebastian's home about 10 times, and deployed drones, helicopters, helicopters, horses, search dogs, and dive teams.
We absolutely obliterated covering the area where Sebastian could have walked off to.
Chief Deputy Craddock repeating to reporters,
"We're operating under the assumption that Sebastian walked off. We have no evidence to disprove that. The family's been nothing but cooperative with law enforcement and our investigation."
TBI released a statement on the family's behalf, responding to comments online wondering why the family hasn't said much publicly. We have been requested by the family to let local media know that they are not in a position to speak to or be available to the media at this time. After that statement, the parents spoke, telling a podcast host Sebastian doesn't have his phone with him, hasn't been talking to anyone online, and doesn't have social media.
A little later in the evening, I myself went to bed, and when I went to wake him up for school, he wasn't here.
And you did tell me that Sebastian is not a runner.
He's not.
New information from the TBI in the search for 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers. The TBI says multiple agencies are still closely investigating what happened to the Sumner County teen. Officials say he vanished from his Hendersonville home in late February. The TBI maintains there is no indication of any criminal action in the case. But at the same time, there isn't proof of the opposite either. The agency says it has few clues and is asking people in the area to keep searching their property.
As the parents continue to fully cooperate. Any evidence of foul play?
We have not cleared anyone, but we have absolutely no evidence to support foul play.
I asked about exclusive home security video obtained from the neighborhood the night Sebastian disappeared. You can see two suspicious light sources, which we've circled here, in an area behind the teen's home. Since we first aired the video last month, authorities have said no evidentiary value?
It is of no evidentiary value.
Can you tell me what those lights are?
No.
Why?
Because the investigation remains ongoing.
And so it could play a role down the road depending on developments?
We don't know what we don't know. So yes, it could play a role.
So many are, of course, closely following this case. How difficult has it been, all the noise on social media?
Oh, the rumor mill on social media has done nothing to advance this case.
Craddock says investigators continue to work the case daily and deal not with feelings, but facts and evidence.
There's no stone left unturned.
Nick Barris, News Channel 5.
Breaking news alert.
Breaking news, a massive search for missing teen Sebastian Rogers. It's underway right now in Sumner County. Multiple law enforcement agencies are out searching, including the FBI, the TBI, and sheriff's deputies. Sebastian has been missing for more than a month now. Investigators have said there has been no evidence of foul play, but they are not ruling out anything. That brings us to today with the ongoing operation happening right now. Apparently, the search has been in the works for several days. News 2's Allie Lynch has been at the scene all morning. She is live now from the command center in Hendersonville.
Well, Nicole, good morning. So I'm told this is going to be a 2-day search, and the response we've seen this morning is just massive. So right now there's at least 10 agencies out here, totaling more than 100 people helping search for 15-year-old Sebastian. So this search comes one day after law enforcement held a press conference saying they would renew search efforts. True to their word, you can see from this video, it's happening here this morning. The Sumner County Sheriff tells News 2 they're looking along the Long Hollow Pike area once again to make sure they haven't missed anything. We've seen law enforcement search through neighbors' yards, garages, as well as creeks here in this vicinity. Sebastian, who has autism, was last seen on February 26 when his parents told police he walked out of their Hendersonville home in the middle of the night. The 15-year-old has not been seen since. Now, just a little bit ago, the sheriff's office says that a pair of glasses that people were thinking belonged to Sebastian has nothing to do with Sebastian. They do not belong to him. Authorities also say that this search here this morning has been in the works for several weeks. Reporting live here this morning, Allie Lynch, News 2.
Authorities say they will not rule out foul play, but they will not say that there is a criminal investigation into the Sebastian Rogers case. Why not? Well, I talked to District Attorney Ray Whitley about what it might take to perhaps make an arrest. Sebastian disappeared from his Hendersonville home more than 6 weeks ago. Since then, professionals and volunteers searching for the 15-year-old have found nothing, no trace. Have you found evidence of Sebastian yourself when you've been out there?
No.
So how does a teen with autism walking from a home barefoot in the middle of the night just with a flashlight disappear? Experts say children rarely simply vanish completely on their own. Could others be involved in Sebastian's case?
We have not cleared anyone, but we have absolutely no evidence to support foul play.
Though they certainly do have theories, so what would it take to call this now a criminal investigation? General Whitley tells me there has to be something, physical evidence, blood, Sebastian's clothing, a flashlight, or security video, or an eyewitness implicating someone. But at this point, the simple fact is, there's nothing. But that's not to say that can't change, and General Whitley says he stays in contact with authorities, ready to prosecute if it does. Sumner County EMA Director Ken Widener says his crews are on call 24/7, ready to go when investigators contact them with new leads on potential evidence.
And anytime the Sheriff's Office indicates or TBI indicates where you've got an area of interest that we need to search, we're ready to go.
You can see the sophisticated mapping system showing the ground they've covered. Sadly, to date, no confirmed sightings and no indication whatsoever of what happened to Sebastian. Authorities still assume that Sebastian is alive and that he will be found safe. If that's not the case, then his body must be found. Without it or any other physical evidence, we may never know what happened to the teen. Nick Barris, News Channel 5. Yes, now the FBI is offering a $50,000 reward for any information that leads to the missing 15-year-old with autism.
I hope that's the catalyst to make something move.
Ken Widener with Sumner County EMA heads up the continuing search effort for Sebastian. To date, they've found no trace of the teen. Yes, it's possible Sebastian wandered off on his own, but the FBI reward money concedes the very real possibility of foul play.
If somebody were to have done something and they told somebody something, it may be what it takes for that person to get that off their chest and make the right decision.
And now the TBI references the reward for information leading to Sebastian or to the arrest and conviction of those responsible for his disappearance. Now remember, investigators have never named any suspects. Any evidence of foul play?
We have not cleared anyone, but we have absolutely no evidence to support foul play.
Still, after 6 months with no good leads, everyone wonders how a child alone could vanish without a trace. So the hope is someone out there knows something and calls in the key tip to 1-800-TBI-FIND and helps solve the mystery of what happened to Sebastian Rogers. Nick Barris, News Channel 5.
There have been no leads that we are aware of since that day 6 months ago. Now a new effort to change that. Allie Lynch joining us in studio with a new reward in the case.
Well, Neil, good morning. The Hendersonville teen with autism vanished without a trace. And 6 months later, Sebastian Rogers remains missing. But now there's hope that a new reward of $50,000 produces some solid leads. Investigators say the money is being offered for information leading to the location and return of Rogers and arrest and conviction of those responsible for his disappearance. Rogers was last seen wearing a black sweatshirt, black sweatpants, and black square-framed glasses. Authorities have said it is possible the 15-year-old wandered off on his own, but the FBI reward money recognizes the real possibility of foul play. Several massive search efforts have taken place with law enforcement covering hundreds of miles. To date, there have been no confirmed sightings or any evidence found of Sebastian's whereabouts. And anyone who has information on the whereabouts of Sebastian Rogers is asked to call the Sumner County Sheriff's Office or the TBI at 1-800-TBI-FIND. You can also contact your local FBI office. Again, that reward money is now up to $50,000.
The Amber Alert remains active, and now nearly 10 months after Sebastian Rogers disappeared, those leading the search effort say no one is giving up.
It's not a cold case. It's an active and ongoing investigation.
Sumner County Sheriff Eric Craddock has been on the case since Sebastian disappeared from his Hendersonville home back on February 26th. Since then, hundreds of tips have been investigated, and to date, there still have been no confirmed sightings. In that vacuum, rumors continue to run rampant online from less than credible sources.
Well, it's real easy to sit on social media and make those comments.
Sheriff Craddock says investigators deal with facts, seeking evidence and hard leads. There have been few official updates in recent months, but the sheriff says investigators meet weekly about the case.
I've been pretty transparent. There is some information that's just not releasable, right? And that's only because any information released could be prejudicial to the case. And a successful resolution is my ultimate goal.
There's not a day that doesn't go by that I don't think about Sebastian.
EMA Director Ken Widener has headed up search efforts around Sebastian's home and beyond from the very beginning, and it is his team that stands ready to act on any credible lead that comes from the tip line.
We have K9 on standby, we have search teams on standby, we've got drones ready to go, and we go.
The question of what happened to Sebastian very much still remains open, and to date, nothing has been ruled out, including the possibility of foul play. And on that note, District Attorney Ray Whitley tells me he gets updates on the case nearly every week, and he does stand ready to prosecute if it ever comes to that. Nick Barris, News Channel 5.